Hello everyone, it's Kathy Schmitt, the Backyard Stamper. Hi Christina, thanks for popping on. I'm so sorry I'm late tonight. I'm going to be changing my time to 7 p.m. Eastern instead of 6, but as you can see I was late even for 7 o'clock. But so I'm glad to be here tonight. It's getting close to the holidays. I haven't done a darn thing except I put lights and garland and some ornaments on our tree today. We actually have 2 trees, but they're small. They're pencil trees, so we have a his and her, so I did mine. And I put the lights on my husband's too, so he's just has to put his ornaments on. But I'm kind of tired of the holiday cards, so I had a little play with a new bundle from the new Spring Mini, and it's called Darling Dinos. This is the Spring Mini, and it's really cute, and it's going to be great for kids cards, kids of all ages. So let me switch to my hands and we'll get started. Okay, let's see if I can get that glare off. There we go. So this is a photopolymer stamp set, and it has 25 pieces in it. It's got glasses for the dinosaurs, a bow tie, a top hat, a party hat, and some really fun sentiments. This is a $1 million Achiever stamp set, and it was Diana Gibbs, $1 million stamp set. And I love that Stampin' Up made dies to go with it. So we're going to use this one, and we'll use this one tonight, and also the balloons. So we'll use a couple dies. And we're also going to use this swirly So Swirly embossing folder. So let me show you the DSP, because the DSP is new. It's called Timeless Plaid. Whoops, gotta let the autofocus, there we go, sorry about that. And I'll show you what the DSP looks like. So it's all plaids, and it's in a variety of really fun colors. We're going to use this sheet tonight. And so there's big plaids, and then the checkers. I love that there's such a variety of colors. So there's some Pebbled Path, which I love. That's going to make great guy birthday cards, maybe with the airplane set, or one of the new pet sets. So, and look at that. That's beautiful. So really nice plaids. This one is really nice with the Calypso Coral and Boho Blue, and then some softer gingham. So the checks and plaids are in different sizes, different directions, and lots of color choices. So they use a lot of the in colors that are going to be retiring in this one, and Pebbled Path is one of my favorites. I also really love Boho Blue. I'm going to be so sad about that. Wild Wheat, kind of take it or leave it. So it's got Basic Beige, Boho Blue, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Early Espresso, Lost Lagoon, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pebbled Path, Pecan Pie, and Wild Wheat. So just a fantastic color palette. Okay, so I didn't really prep anything ahead of time, so we're going to kind of do it on the fly, if you don't mind. So I'll put my sample right there, and let me put my little logo right there, and we'll move these off to the side so I don't lose them. Okay. All right, so we're going to be using, oh, here's some stuff here. All right, so we've got a half a sheet of Pebbled Path, and folded. It's scored. I didn't score it, but you can score it. It would be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Or scored at 4 1/4. sorry, so that it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's an 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. We're going to have a landscape card today. And the pattern I'm using is this one. I've got a layer of basic beige. This is going to get embossed with the swirly. And a layer of basic white, 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. I also have some scrap white to do some die cutting, and I have a piece of the new sky paper. Oh my gosh, I'll show you this in more detail in the next video, but it's Everyday Skies, and it's just like all sky papers, really beautiful watercolors. So I actually am using the back side, and I'm stamping my little dinosaur right on this piece. So I only had minimal coloring to do. So let's do our stamping, and then I can do my die cutting. Okay, so these pieces can wait just a few, and I don't need my bone folder. Okay, so I'm going to come in with my Memento Black, and I'm using the little, I call it a girl dinosaur. I don't know if it's a girl or not, but it kind of looks like it. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp it right there. Now, when it's on the DSP, I have found you want to make sure you've let it dry before you start coloring, because it's a different texture paper where the ink kind of soaks into the basic white, but it kind of sits on top of the DSP. So you just want to give it a chance to dry. So let's do some of our scraps. I'm going to have 2 sets of rocks, and I'm going to have 3 balloons, but we'll do 4 just in case. And I think that's it for our die cutting, so let's go ahead and put that away for now, and we're going to color. I'm going to leave this one to last, so we're going to color our rocks, and I've got the dark and light gray granite, so I'm just going to go ahead and use my cheater lines to start my boulders. And I'm going to come right along the bottom too, and behind that one. That was the dark, and this is the light. I usually start with the light and then go back over, but it's such a small image to color that it's okay to go ahead and just put your dark lines in, and then you still blend them out. Okay, so that's done. And then for my balloons, I used some Daffodil Delight, dark and light, and I used Calypso Coral. Nope, I think I used that on my dinosaur. I used Flirty Flamingo. Let me just check that. That's the dark. Do I have the light out? Yes. Okay. And I did Shy Shamrock, but I'm going to do Granny Apple Green instead. So let me grab those. Because on this, I had stamped the little grass in 2 colors of green. There it is. And I think I'm going to just do the Granny Apple Green. I think that will look better. So that's for our grass. So let's do our coloring. And for the balloon, I'm going to start with my dark. And I just kind of went around, basically tracing the circle, and then heavier on one side. Then I came in with the light and I just swirled it in. It's amazing. Okay, and then my Flirty Flamingo, I'm going to do the same thing. Start with the dark and go all the way around. And when you're done with this, the Flirty Flamingo doesn't look pink. It looks more peachy, which is great. I got a lot of orangey colors going on there, so I wanted something that goes with it, but not exactly the same. So, okay. And then for my Granny Apple Green, I'm going to do the same thing. Just go around. And a little heavier on one side. And then just start swirling it round and round to fill, and it moves that color all around your balloon. There. All right, so now we can set that aside. That's ready to die cut. Let's do our girly girl. So what I did on this is I just did my spots in the dark Calypso Coral. And I did these kind of like edge of the, I called it her hair, but obviously I know it's not. Kind of like a crown, actually. It's very pretty. And then I'm going to take my dark petal pink and I'm going to blend that. I think that's what I did. Maybe I did the Calypso. Hold on a minute. I don't remember. Okay, yeah, that's what we did. We did the Calypso because I want the petal pink is going to be for her body, just to touch up in a couple of spots. The dinosaurs are so adorable, and I love the animal stamp sets anyways, so of course I had to get this, but it's really, really a cute set too. And I'm just gonna touch up just a smidge here. There. Blend that again. Just pull that in like that. All right, you can really see it bleeding through, so let's move that. Did you see how that was coming onto her face? We didn't want that, so I'm going to quickly take my dark petal pink and put that back where it should be. So I want that to go back on that side of the line. All right, and then I'm just going to color a little bit where the shadows would be with the dark. And try to go down the leg a little bit. And under her chin. And then I'm going to take my light and blend that in. And I don't even have to color the whole thing because the designer paper was colored, and that was the intent, is I didn't want to have to color the whole thing. So I'm not. And then I'll just, anywhere that it looks just a little too light, I'll just touch up with the marker or the blend. There. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to take my, I thought I had a pebble path here. I think I did the dark gray granite, and I'm just going to do her little toenails. And this little curly, like that, and the horn. Sometimes it's nice to use the Stampin' Up markers, just because I know I'm going to be able to be successful getting in the little nooks and crannies. So that looks pretty good. All right, so let me go to the die cutting machine. I'll switch you back so you can. And let me go take my pieces, and I also want to take my beige, and so I can emboss that. Okay, so let's do our embossing, our die cutting first, and I'm just putting that on and using a piece of Post-it note tape to keep it in place so it doesn't move. And we'll do that, and then I've got room on here. I can do my balloons and one balloon and one rock at a time. So we'll go ahead and get that on. If I had been a little bit more prepared, I would have done some ahead of time, but I thought, you know what, it's kind of nice to show the process, because I just made this card up last night, and I'm going to be doing it for a swap. So I was like, well, let's see what I can come up with, and I really like it. I wasn't sure I was going to like all the orange in it, but it came out really cute. All right, so we've got our girl done. And because there's no white layer, because we're on the DSP, I am going to just trim it a little closer with my snips, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in just 1 second here. Let me go ahead and do my next balloon. This won't take long, I promise. It always feels like it's taking way too long when you're the one doing it, especially when it's live on the camera. So my weekly lives are now going to be on, oh, they're still going to be on Thursday, but they're going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern time instead of 6, which for me is a lot better. For, you know, I work and then I can get my supper on and stuff like that. So that balloon moved a little, but I think I can save it, and that will be all right. I did not attach my Post-it note paper very well, so the whole thing shifted. Sometimes I think the balloons are easier to just fussy cut. I've had, there was an elephant set that had the little balloons too, and yeah, I did that one for a swap too. I don't know what I'm thinking about cutting all these balloons out, but it'll be fine. Okay, so I got my die cutting done, but I want to just run this embossing through. So I have to change my plate. This embossing folder is not a 3D one, so we can just put our paper in and run it with 2 of the number 3 plates. We don't need the number 4 plate at all. So we'll go ahead. Still put your hinge in first, don't forget. My plate is so warped, one of my bottom plates, that it's a little hard to crank it. But it's still working, so all right, that's everything. All right, so I don't normally have my glasses on, but I ran out of contacts today, and I know I had another box, but I couldn't find them anywhere. So I had to call the eye doctor, and it's going to be 2 weeks. And it's like, oh darn, because I do a lot of computer work for my day job, and it's just really hard with bifocals because you're up down with your neck all the time. All right, so here's my rock, my balloons. There. And I'll just set that aside. And see, my yellow was off a little bit, but I can just put that one underneath. I'll trim it a little bit too. And I should have one. Here's my other rock. All right. And this here. So I don't want to lose my dies, so I'm just going to set them over here. Okay. We don't need that. I'm going to get my scissors, my paper snips. They're here somewhere. Okay. And I'm just going to trim that balloon off where I was off so much. The nice thing about using a white background is the white lines kind of fade in. And then here's this one. So see how this one, there is, let me put it on the so you can see it better. So see how there's some designer paper on the outside where normally that would be white? I'm going to trim that off just to clean her up a little bit. And I'm only doing the one side. The back end, it looks fine. There, just like that. There. All right, so we've got our pieces together here, and I have this. So now I'm going to bring in my piece of white, Stylish Shapes, and I am going to find a piece of scrap paper. Here it is. And I'm going to stamp my grass in Granny Apple Green. I love Granny Apple Green. It's such a bright, happy color. Okay, so there's some nice grass, and then I'm going to just come in with my blending brush with a little bit of balmy blue. And I decided that after the fact, so on my other sample, it's hardly there because I already had the balloons attached. So I'm just going to come in with and give it a little bit of fluffy cloud-like color, and that's it, just a little bit. Okay, and I'll close these up. There. And just take that away. All right, so now let's go ahead and attach our strip, and I did it all the way to the edge. And so on this embossing folder, you can decide if you want the embossed side or the debossed side. They're almost the same, really. So I think mine last time, it looked like it was this side. Like that. It really doesn't matter. I'll do this side just to be different this time. But do I want it this way? Or this way? I think I'm going to do it this way. It looks like the other way was going in the wrong direction. Okay, so I am going to use my liquid glue because then I can slide it if I need to. And with an embossed piece, you definitely need something that's going to have a good hold. Oh, did I pick up the one that was clogged? I had one that I left the top off. I'm just poking it with a little pin. Okay, there we go. And I'm not going right to the edge because this is 6 inches and this is 5 1/4. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue right on the edge there. And I am going to get my glue mat here. So, okay, there we go. And you can slide it right to the edge. Oops, and when you're sliding, when you're rubbing it, you can cause it to slide, so be careful. All right, and then you just need to trim this extra. This side would have been cute too. But with the swap, you try to keep them all looking about the same. So, and then oh, I need to do my beige ribbon. So what I did with this is, and this card doesn't even need it, but I am just covering the seam up a little bit with it. So let's see, I'm going to put some Seal Plus down right on the side and then attach one side like that and bring it around. There. And cut it off. There. Christina, did you get this stamp set on the pre-order? Are you a demonstrator? I can't remember if you are. Okay. So there's that. Let me just go ahead and I'm going to stick this on to my pebbled path. That way I know I have where it's taped isn't going to get stuck to the wrong thing. There. Okay. That looks good. All right, so now let's move that out of the way. Does it come in better if I leave that on? I have to figure out how to zoom my camera in a little bit because I'm using a webcam instead of my phone and I haven't figured it out, but I will. So it will get better. Okay, so I have like a rock there and another one over here, and then she's going to cover up a lot of that grass there. So that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a little grass behind the rock there and this boulder. They're both going to kind of peek out over a little bit like that. Oh, I love it. So cute. And I stuck the two rocks down with glue. And then I'm going to pop her up. Let's see here. I've got a little piece of grass there floating up in the air, so I don't want that. Okay, let me see here. Is that... Okay, this rock here is a little crooked. There. There. I didn't really want them exactly across from each other, but so let me lower that one down a little. Okay, and now The rest is going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to dimensional her. Okay, and we'll put her, so the rocks are, yeah, like that. So she's not exactly in the center, but that's good. I didn't really want her to be. Although I think, looking at my sample, I wanted her to be to the left a little bit so I have room for the balloons. Let me rip that off. Always press down lightly to make sure you have it where you want to before. I think that's all right, and I think I'm going to move this rock in a little. I just want it to look like it's behind her a little bit. There. There. That looks okay. And now for the balloons. So let's see here. We've got a pink, a green, and a yellow. And my yellow is the one that got snipped. So I'm going to put that as the back one. And we'll do the green in front this time. So that little part that's snipped is going to be behind the pink. And then I have the green. Like so. And then what I did was I just drew the lines, the balloon lines, with my gray pen. So, and then I put the balloons wherever they needed to be from there. Okay, and then so let's put our, let's see here, did I pop that first one up? I glued the first one, so let me go ahead and do that. Okay, like so, and this top piece is bugging me. When I snipped it, I left a little point on the balloon. All right, and then, do we want the pink in front? No, I think I definitely want the green. So we'll do like that. We'll turn it. So let's put a little bit of glue on that. We'll do it like that. And then we'll pop this one up. Fun, huh? I love it. These kind of cards really make me happy. So by putting the green a little bit, you know, lower, it really hides where the strings were. So I think that looks really cute. So let's go ahead and we'll put dimensionals on it. And when you put dimensionals on when a piece of ribbon, I don't like to put the dimensionals on the ribbon. Next to the ribbon is good, but not, I don't like putting it on the ribbon. Oh, so there. So, okay, so I'm going to do that and that. And then I'm going to, I can put some dimensionals like out here to help hold those two balloons in place. And then just kind of stay on the outside of the top and the bottom. And then the middle part will be supported by those that are right there. So let's take these off. We're almost done with this card. So cute. It's got a little bit of parts and pieces, but you know, when you're doing a lot of the same kind of cards, it's nice to, what will help is if you just break it out. So what I would do is do all my balloons and color them and all my stones and stuff like that. Color everything, and then do my die cutting at a different time. So now we need our happy birthday, and we need to do our inside. So for my inside piece, do that. We'll move that out of the way and move these out of the way. Okay, so I need a little strip of white for my happy birthday banner, and I have plenty, as you can see. These are filled with white. Hi Janet, how you doing? And let's see here, and I wanted to use Pebbled Path instead of the black to help bring in that color, because that's the back of my card here. So let's do this. We'll do our happy birthday. I'm stamping right next to the edge so I can cut it a little easier. And then I'll use my baby trimmer. Let's see here. Let's snip that off. I missed out on getting the Stampin' Up one of these, but I do have the big one that we had many moons ago. Okay, so I am going to let me try again, because let me do something. I'm going to be dangerous here and take the guard off for a minute, just so I can get that lined up a little bit easier. There. All right, I normally don't do that, so, but with that skinny piece, I just had to get in there a little easier. Okay, so that's our baby trimmer and our happy birthday, and I like to just angle it a little bit so that you can't tell if it was crooked or not. Okay, and then for our inside, so that's going to go right there, or down here maybe. And maybe I'll put it down here this time. And so for our inside, let's see what I did. Ooh, have a dynamite birthday. And I put the hat up there. I don't know if I really like that. Maybe if I did two, or just stay with the flower. I'm not quite sure. So we'll just do this part first. And then we'll do our flower, and I'm going to bring in my black again. Thanks guys, I know, I'm so happy that you like it. Oh, I did that same thing last night when I did this. Okay, good. Ooh, that was a good save. All right, and then I think I'm going to leave off the birthday hat this time. It was kind of distracting to me. And that's okay. Let's just bring my scrap paper back in here real quick so I can get right on the edge with my grass. There. All right. Just a little bit of something, something. And then I'm just going to bring in some of the colors that I used on the front. So I've got my Granny Apple Green. Let's do the light. And we'll give it a little something, something right in the middle there. Like that. And then I am going to do the light daffodil. What we need is a really bright, nice yellow. I feel like the daffodil is what I call a dirty yellow because it just has that sunflower yellow instead of like a primary yellow color. All right, and then I want a dark center for my little flower. There. And that's done. I think that looks sweet, and we'll go ahead and put that. And okay, just like that. And then our final thing, oops, I need my birthday. And I'm going to just kind of put it like that. So I need my dimensionals again, and I'm going to have to trim a little tiny bit off. Let's see here. I can do it like that. Okay, so they don't like to be torn, I guess. Okay. And I need the birthday for sure popped up, and a little bit by the happy. And then I'm going to just add a little dab of glue just so it is stuck right there, which is good because see, I got a nice white spot right there, and we'll cover it up. Just a dab. A little dab will do you. Oops, you know what I just did? I just threw away my happy birthday. Maybe it's on the floor. Oh, yeah. Oh, you guys, look. Here it is. It was stuck to my hand. Have you guys ever looked around for things and then saw they were stuck to your shirt or, well, elbow or something? All right, so I've got that, and I just need to do a little bit of Wink of Stella. And oh, and I got to show you these fantastic gems, you guys. I am going to stock up on these. They are fantastic. So let me just wink up everything here. There. Okay, let me show you these gems. Where did I put them? Right here. Oh my gosh. These are called low profile dots. And it's petal pink and gold. And I went to go use my take your pick tool, you know, to pick them up. And, you know, I picked them up and everything was good. And then I went to press it down, and it's flat. So it won't get stuck in the mail. But they don't look flat. Look at how... See that? That is super thin. And they come in 2 sizes on your paper. So like that. So there you have it. So low profile dots. They are in with the floral suite, which I didn't get. I got the stamp set because I've been doing some watercoloring with it, and I got the dots, but I didn't get anything else. So here's my sample up close. There we go. So thank you so much for joining me, And I hope you, if I don't see you next week, I hope you have a wonderful holiday. And I have to get going because I haven't even shopped. And I've only made one batch of cookies, so I really need to get going. And I have all my Christmas cards made, but they're not mailed yet. But I did mail the December birthdays out today, so I was pretty proud of myself because usually I'm late with everything. So this weekend it's going to be go, go, go. No rest for the weary because it's about Christmas. It's almost here. I don't know how that happened. So I guess it's because Thanksgiving was late, maybe, but anyways, it just is always a kind of a crazy time of year. So I will let you go. Thank you so much again for joining me, and have a great night. Bye.